Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all the students from Europe Hotel School. It's great to have you with us. Today, we are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of revenue management. We're going to explore what I like to call the architecture of demand, which is really the powerful system that fuels any successful hotel.
Our goal here is pretty straightforward. We want to give you the skills that you are actually going to use out in the real world. We'll be looking at the strategies and, yes, the AI-powered tools that are completely changing how hotels operate today. Think of this as your inside track to becoming a real leader in this incredibly dynamic industry. All right, ready to jump in? Let's get started.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to uncover why revenue management is, without a doubt, the engine of a hotel's profit. Then we'll decode the core technology that makes it all tick. After that, we'll get into the art and science of forecasting future demand, see how data and human expertise come together, and then we'll wrap it all up by looking at how this single function can drive strategy for the entire hotel.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the absolute foundation, the engine that really powers a hotel's financial health.
And really, it is that simple and not powerful. This isn't just about crunching numbers in a spreadsheet. We're talking about making those critical, day-to-day calls on pricing and room availability that can literally make or break a hotel's bottom line. So if you're aiming for a leadership role someday, getting this right isn't just a nice-to-have. It is an absolute must-have skill.
All right, so now that we know why it's so important, let's move on to the what. We're going to decode the powerful technology that sits at the very heart of modern revenue strategy, the Revenue Management System, or RMS for short.
An RMS is basically your analytical powerhouse. Just think of it as this incredibly smart platform that's built to collect and analyze huge amounts of data. And its whole job is to help revenue managers see what's coming, to anticipate demand so they can make much smarter adjustments to their rates.
So, what kind of data are we feeding into this machine? Well, pretty much everything. It looks at your hotel's entire history, who booked, when they booked, and for how much. It's tracking your current reservations in real time, but where the real magic happens is when it starts looking outside your hotel, at market trends, where your competitors are doing, and even citywide events. It takes all of that noise and turns it into clear, actionable intelligence.
And all that data brings us to our next core concept, forecasting. This is where things get really interesting, because it's not just a science, there's a real art to it as well.
At its core, forecasting is our best attempt to predict the future. It's all about estimating what demand and revenue will look like down the road. And when you can do that, you can stop just reacting to the market and start being proactive. A really solid forecast is the bedrock of any good strategic plan.
You can almost think of forecasting like a funnel. Into the top, we pour all these different streams of data. We've got pickup trends, how fast are rooms booking up. We've got booking windows, how far in advance are people planning their trips. Then we layer in the predictable things like seasonality and the not-so-predictable things like a big concert or a major conference coming to town. The system takes all of it and distills it into a powerful prediction of what future demand will be.
Now, this is a really crucial point. Your historical data is a great guide, but it is not a guarantee. You can't just follow it blindly. The market is always changing. A great revenue manager knows that a forecast is a living, breathing document. It has to be constantly tweaked and adjusted for what's happening right now.
This brings us perfectly to the how. How does this all actually work in practice? Well, it all comes down to the synergy, the partnership between the technology and the talented people using it.
This illustrates that partnership perfectly. The system, the technology, does what machines do best. It gives you consistency, incredible speed, and it can process enormous volumes of data. But the human brings what a machine can't. That deep market insight, the ability to think critically about the data, and the flexibility to adapt to things that no one saw coming.
This quote really captures a core philosophy we have here at Europe Hotel School. The goal is not to replace the revenue manager with technology, it's to enhance their judgment, to empower them with better tools so they can make smarter, more strategic decisions. Okay, for our final point, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Because a smart revenue strategy doesn't just stay in one department. Its impact creates this incredible ripple effect that's felt across the entire hotel. Just look at how far this reaches. The sales team? They use the forecast to decide whether to take a big group booking and at what price. The operations team uses it to figure out exactly how many people they need at the front desk or in housekeeping. And the finance department, well, they rely on it to manage cash flow accurately. It's the connective tissue that holds the business together. And that's the real payoff. When you get this right, when you blend the best technology with human talent and share those insights, you get a hotel that runs with more accuracy, that can react faster to change, and that has so much more confidence in every single decision that affects revenue.
So I'll leave you with one final thought to reflect on. As these systems we use get more and more powerful, what do you think is the single most critical human skill that you will need to develop to become a successful leader in this industry?